What a time in the world. What a time. We are seeing collaboration between private capital and public imperatives, between venture capital and the nation's capital, between VC and DC like never before. Take it from me, together with the Alumni Ventures team, we are in the absolute epicenter of this DC and VC collaboration. I literally just came back from Tampa with US Special Operations Command. The team is spending tons of time down in DC. We're going there next week. And all these conversations that we are having, all these investments that we are making are shaping the future of national security, economic competitiveness, and technological dominance. This isn't just theory. The way that venture capital and government are working together today is fundamentally different from how it was even 5 years ago. And it's happening at a scale that we have never seen before. So welcome to the AV Big Idea VC meets DC, how venture is reshaping America's stronghold. First, some disclosures. This presentation is for information purposes only and is not intended as an offer to sell securities. So, onward. First, my venture capital journey. Before coming to Alumni Ventures, I was a senior director at one of the largest corporate venture groups on the planet, Bertelsmann. I had deep exposure, front row seat to different geographies, China, Europe. All of that has informed my thesis, our view on the US and our role in national competitiveness. I also am a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. This gives me daily, weekly insights into the happenings of the geopolitical arena. So, over at Alumni Ventures, many of you know us, but we are the largest venture capital firm in the United States for individual investors. Started about a decade ago, and it gives you, your friends, your community, all individuals an opportunity to own smart, simple venture capital portfolios. Alumni Ventures has raised $1.4 billion from over 10,000 individual investors and put that capital into over 1,500 current and historical portfolio investments. This is extraordinary scale. This is an extraordinary pulse into American innovation. We have over 100 employees scattered all throughout the United States, located in major offices, Manchester, New Hampshire, Boston, New York, Chicago, Menlo Park. So if you're hearing that correct, you can see that to invest in the next century of American economic competitiveness, having that geo distribution across the US is edge for us. And yes, that edge is showing up in the trophy case. Accomplishments to date, we are a leading venture capital firm, and we have won all kinds of awards: CB Insights, Top 20 VC, PitchBook, US Most Active VC, Fast Company, Most Innovative Companies. The list goes on and on and on. You have joined a webinar with one of the most active, one of the most accomplished venture capital firms that is out there. We invest with experienced venture capital firms and sector experts. You see the names, you see the logos, whether Andreessen Horowitz, Sequoia, NEA, Founders Fund. These are all peer funds that we are deep collaborators with, especially deep collaborators with in these national interest, national security themes. So let's set the stage. The old model of defense was slow. Traditional defense procurement takes 2 to 3 years from budget approval to the deployment of that capital. Now, compare that to what is happening in Ukraine. Military technology is being adapted in 24-hour cycles. New AI, drone models, new tactics, new strategies. Think about that. The US old model, 2 to 3 years from a dollar to get authorized to spent, to now 24-hour cycles. This is a new paradigm. Speed and adaptability determine success. Technology, not just troop numbers, wins battles. AI, autonomy, cybersecurity, and energy innovation are shaping the frontier of American stronghold. And venture-backed companies are a absolute key piece to that transformation. So have this all in mind. Have this visualization of the $50,000 drone that is destroying the $65 million warship. That asymmetry is an imperative for innovation. That is, as we say, the new face of military power. VC is stepping up to disrupt. You see at the top of 2024 NatSec, National Security VC Investors, Incutel. This is the CIA's innovation arm. And you see right there at the top, Alumni Ventures. We have been quietly but fiercely backing U.S. national interests for years, and we have been supporting community building in these themes. These are the key sectors where venture capital is making an impact. These are the growing government interest areas where private sector innovation funded by VC is happening. So buckle up. Let's go through some of these major themes. First, investment in AI and machine learning. Sample innovation areas, threat detection, decision support, autonomous systems. Great example, AV portfolio, Grok. Grok produces AI processors that enhance computational speed. The US Army has been using these processors to enable rapid, accurate threat detection. It is now deploying up to 1,000 times faster than the traditional methods, giving the US Army edge. Let's move on to another major theme, cybersecurity. Sample innovation areas, network defense, resilience. This is everything from identifying and neutralizing malicious software to ensuring secure communication during cyber attacks. AV portfolio company, Galvanic. Galvanic protects critical infrastructure like nuclear facilities and global supply chains. And this is shaping in a huge way the future of US cyber strategy. Keep an eye out for Galvanic. Next up, investments in drones and robotics. Sample innovation areas, intelligence and surveillance, logistics and autonomy. Good example, AV portfolio company, Ghost Robotics. This is a quadrupedal, looks like a dog, robot for surveillance. We've had a very exciting journey with this company. In fact, excited to report that this company was acquired very recently by LIG Next One for a great outcome for Alumni Ventures and an acquisition price of $240 million. So you can see we have moved from not just digital capabilities in the AI realm, but digital and physical capabilities in the autonomy realm, drone and robotics, just as one example. Let's give another specific example in the autonomy realm, marine autonomy. Those of you who are watching the State of the Union, you heard from the President of the United States a new doubling down on shipbuilding in America. Well, Alumni Ventures has been all over this theme well before then. And a case study is in marine autonomy. We saw that SHIPS Act, not formalized, but in spirit, being mobilized months ago. And we began to develop that thesis. In fact, Alumni Ventures last fall made an investment in a company named Havoc AI. Havoc has a platform that enables a single operator, an individual, to control dozens, hundreds, eventually thousands of autonomous uncrewed surface vessels, or USVs. It's an extraordinary company. In fact, we just saw them last week at the Alumni Ventures co-hosted Atlantic Maritime Tech Summit demo this in person. So you can see an operator right there on that stage who is pointing towards a USV of Havix located up north along the Atlantic coast, and they're controlling this remotely. They can control that boat from it looks like almost like a gaming console to have it go from point A to point B. Extraordinary company, extraordinary capability. They just raised an $11 million seed round led by some very, very hyper specialized national interest, national security investors. So, another big theme, maritime autonomy. Let's go to the next theme, energy independence. You've heard it, you know it. Energy security is national security. Energy security is a national imperative. We have been making investments in advanced batteries, in other words, energy storage, and we've been making investments in energy production. So this is everything from lightweight, long-lasting power sources for troops and equipment to portable generators and fuel cells and energy production. Great example, Radiant Nuclear. Radiant is an extraordinary company. They have compact, portable 1 megawatt reactor that can fit in the back of a semi-truck, that can fit in the back of an airplane. It is on the verge of building the microreactor that the world needs for remote and resilient and austere environments. They just collected a $3.8 million Department of Defense award for some of their breakthrough technology. So keep an eye on Radiant. Next up, we have a case study in nuclear. Nuclear has been a focus area for Alumni Ventures for years. We've been way ahead of the curve of most in investing in nuclear technology. We've seen, of course, recently the DC VC interplay manifest in a doubling down of DC on nuclear. So this is the setting of a target to triple nuclear capacity by 2050. But Alumni, again, has been early on in the community building and the investment deployment of capital into these themes. So you can see there on the right, AV co-hosted the first Nuclear Innovation Summit. We brought 20 remarkable investors, remarkable entrepreneurs to the Idaho National Laboratories. INL is a crown jewel of nuclear innovation, and this was an opportunity to see firsthand the future of nuclear being built. That cylindrical silver sphere you see is called DOME, and this is where all of the advanced reactor activity is happening in the United States. And Radiant is queuing up to go into that dome and to test out their microreactors. So again, energy security is national security. Nuclear energy, big time theme for us at Alumni. Next, we're going from ground innovation to the sky, to space. Sample innovation areas, secure communication, navigation, surveillance. Alumni Ventures has been a very active historical investor in space technology. Great example is Hawkeye 360. Hawkeye is doing radio frequency mapping from low Earth orbit. They give real-time intelligence gathering for military and humanitarian missions. So keep an eye on Hawkeye, and we continue to double down on space technology, even having made very recently some additional space technology innovations that are happening down in California that we can't quite announce yet, but are extremely exciting. So let's zoom out again and just think through the why VC and DC are coming together more closely than ever before. Well, first off, you are seeing all kinds of innovation solutions rolled out at a rapid pace. The first thing these do, they bridge the applications. They accelerate the dual use technologies for commercial and military use cases. Venture capital is uniquely positioned to help with that bridging between those stakeholders. Second, speed and agility. We operate at Alumni Ventures at a blistering pace in backing the innovation pillars of the American economy. We do not sit on the sidelines. We are active participants, active champions, active capital providers in the startup innovation ecosystem. And we are seeing that collaboration and that pace between the traditional defense contractors and the neo primes happening like never before. Last, we're seeing an amazing talent migration to these national security, national interest themes. Brilliant minds are deciding to go and to build in the national interest, and this is a major achievement of venture capital in financing not just the technologies but the careers of people who are building in these sectors. So moving even to a bigger picture, a little bit more of the financial prospectus of these national interest themes. We have already seen a triumvirate, three companies blaze a path of what it means to build not just in specific sectors that that are important, but to actually build in specific sectors that also have massive market potential. Palantir, Anduril, SpaceX, these are three highly notable, highly visible companies that have surpassed the mega market cap size. So Palantir, 271 billion of market cap. Anduril, well on its way to sort of prime level market cap, and SpaceX, 350 billion of market cap. These are mega companies that also correspond with mega competencies of U.S. national interest. So looking back, zooming out, and thinking about the road ahead, we have already seen examples of streamlined procurement happening in the DoD. We've already seen the emerging frontiers that are happening in terms of innovation imperatives, quantum, advanced AI, biotech, you name it. And we've also seen just a massive interest of talent retention, individuals who are deciding that they want to help ensure that the U.S. leads in innovation and execution. So if you're reading between the lines here, or if you need it to be said explicitly, this is actually a call to action. This is a request for you to join us in fostering the deeper collaboration between public and private sectors to deploy capital at the speed and the relevance that the country needs. For investors, we welcome you to back these dual use technologies that can revolutionize defense and national security and really invigorate the next century of American competitiveness. For innovators, for founders, it's a call to action to develop the technologies that the world, the United States, needs. These are critical sectors with great needs for our generation and our children's generation. And lastly, for policymakers, championing policies that enhance collaboration with the private sector and that reduce bureaucratic barriers. And one more thing, really invite you all to join Alumni Ventures, to join the U.S. Strategic Tech Fund. And as you think about venture, we really welcome you to join us because we have here a portfolio that really offers something to every different personality. AV serves a range of accredited investors that all have different motivations and different needs. Maybe you're the tech enthusiast and you believe that technology is key to driving humanity forward. Maybe you're just venture curious and believe that you want to learn about and make initial investments in venture. Maybe you're the legacy builder and you want to pay it forward to future generations. What greater way to pay it forward than to back U.S. critical technologies? Maybe you're looking to back the next big companies and have bragging rights. You're the trophy hunter interested in big return opportunities. Or maybe you're the asset allocator. You believe that diversification and compounding are the great ways to build wealth. We would like to be your venture partner. So if you're interested, bring out that phone, take the snapshot of that QR code and reach out. Alumni Ventures brings easy, fast, and helpful people who can help you build that portfolio depending on your preferences, depending on your needs. And lastly, and most importantly, thank you for sharing your time with us. On behalf of the Alumni Ventures team, I thank you for tuning in to VC Meets DC. This is how we win. It is time now to back these critical technologies and to invest in the next century of American life. So thank you, everyone, and talk to you soon.